Okay, Year 8. So, for this project, you will be able to look at the topic of 2020, a year of seismic change as a whole. Let's break down the project title together. 2020 has been a year of seismic change. Compare and contrast two or more changes that have happened in 2020 to conclude on which change has been the most significant. So first and foremost, seismic has the definition of enormous proportions or effect. So the statement is basically asking you to review whether or not you think the year has had huge change. If we look at the term significant, it means of great importance. So you want to be reviewing an event that you think has impacted the world. Finally, the way to approach this project is by looking at two events or more side by side and see the impact that they have had. By involving yourself in this project, you will receive 25 credits for the submission of the project that you pick to use. In addition to this, we are offering additional prizes, so you could be in with a chance of winning something enormous. But finally, I believe that you should involve yourself in this project so that you can improve your understanding of the world. The nature of this project is very independent, and you need to be taking research and organising yourself to research a number of matters. This is only going to improve your cultural capital, which is going to benefit you enormously in a range of your studies. So the way to approach this project is as follows. Firstly, you need to start the year as a whole and the big events that have happened in it. From that then, you need to make a decision on which events you feel have made the biggest change. Once you've selected these, that's when you can start to research them in depth. From that then, you will want to make a decision as to how you present your project. I have given you some ideas on the next few slides to get your brain ticking on this element. Next, you need to plan the stages to build in your project. If you are building something physical, this might be the gathering of materials. Whereas if you are writing an essay, it might be actually planning how you start, develop and finish it. The planning stage is very important and you've got lots of time to complete this. Finally, you will prepare your masterpiece. For this particular project, I suggest that it might be a good place to start with a Venn diagram. You will be able to start to think about the differences and similarities between the events that you have picked, enabling you to draw a conclusion once you have determined these. Also, it might help with you to think about how you present this project. If you can see an overlapping theme, that might help you make a decision as to how you want to present your views. I have designed the next few slides to help you if you are interested in writing. If you enjoy writing and would like to present your project in this way, the next few slides give you a few ideas as to how you can present your project in a written format. If an essay format is for you, then I suggest you follow the structure beneath here. Use the project title as your essay question. In your introduction, this will enable you to outline your overall viewpoint. You can briefly explain why you have picked the two changes that you have. The main body of your essay will be creating 4 to 5 main ideas around your reasoning and how they are different, similar, and how they've impacted the world. Then you can conclude with a summary of your thoughts and what change you believe has been the most significant. I've included some sentence starters there for you to help with the development of your essay. However, if you like writing more of a creative form, you might want to write a short poem or a story. In these, you could conclude the changes that you believe have been the most significant and how they compare and contrast. You will need to decide on a title, plan plot, characters or voice you want to include, and draft and edit accordingly. I suggest writing a sonnet, especially if you are picking a change that you have loved and think has changed the world for the better. As this usually forms a love poem, it might be the best way to present your ideas. Or, alternatively, transactional writing might be for you. A letter, speech or an article are all formats that you can use for your project. Maybe you might write a letter to somebody informing them of the changes. Your article could have a news headline that informs the public why you believe they've been significant, or your speech could be about these changes and which one you believe has made the biggest impact. Again, I've provided some sentence starters here for you if you wish to choose this approach. If you prefer a visual way of presenting things, the next few slides will outline ideas as to how you can present your project in a more creative format. If you really enjoy to draw and paint, then designing an image of how you believe these changes have been significant might be for you. You'll first need to do your research as established earlier on in this presentation, but from that then, you may want to draft a design and build it based on all the facts and information that you do have. As a tip, the picture doesn't have to just be the impact. You could create a painting or drawing that outlines how these changes have happened, how they've occurred, the development of these. Or it could be using the Venn diagram and producing something more creative in this element. If you are interested in photography, then you might want to implement this into your project. You could collect images from different media outlets that report on the significant events, or you might want to take your own images to showcase your viewpoint. Maybe you might get friends and family involved so that they can act in a role play position that enables you to demonstrate this change. Also, it doesn't just have to be one photograph or one theme. You could combine your images to form a mood board. The different images could work alongside words, colours, anything else that you wish to use to convey the impact of the events. The mood board could also be used to show how you feel about that event. Perhaps you might want to build a model or a sculpture if you feel restricted to presenting your project in 2D format. Once your research is complete, decide on how this would look visually. You then need to make sure you find the correct materials to form your masterpiece. As a tip, your model could be a combination of both of your events when you are concluding which you think has been the most significant. I've provided a YouTube video for the use of paper mache and how you can use this to build a model. The next bit of advice is going to help you if you are tech savvy. If you find that you're more skilled in your use of technology, these suggestions might be really useful for your project. If you are good with technology, you might want to create a PowerPoint presentation. Once you've done your research, you might then want to collate the most important pieces of information. These can be used to prove your argument. You can use the PowerPoint to develop your argument and your opinion. You can also use images, video clips, text to support you with this presentation. Just like I'm doing now, you can record audio over each slide so that you can talk your way through the project. This might help you form a stronger argument. A video might be the choice for you. If you're really savvy with technology, you might want to create a video montage. This could be a collection of photos, text, video clips, or you could film yourself presenting your ideas. This could be in the style of a news report if you wanted to take this direction. There are a number of different apps you can use to make an edited video. I've suggested some free ones beneath here. So as I suggested at the beginning of this presentation, I think the first steps you need to take is the research element. That's why I've left this till the end of the PowerPoint, so that you can finish, listen to what I have to say, and then go away and start your research. Here's a reminder of your project title. 2020 has been a year of seismic change. Compare and contrast two or more changes that have happened in 2020 to conclude on which change has been the most significant. On the next few slides, I'm now going to outline where you can start to really research what changes have happened. I'll give you some starting points, and from that you can go on to do your own independent research. Here are some great places to start. The internet. I would firstly suggest using the Wikipedia page for 2020 events to start your research. It lists all of the enormous things that have happened in 2020 in chronological order. You can start to look through and remind yourself of what has taken place this year. In addition to that, you might want to use Twitter, Facebook or Instagram to search for stories using the hashtag. I've provided a video below of how you use a hashtag. This could be a really quick way to find more information on the event you would like to look into. Finally, I've given you a YouTube video as a starting point too. This basically summarises the main events of 2020 as well. These ideas should be your starting point. Once you've got the bedrock of your project, the idea, the change that you really want to explore, The next slide should help you with this. So, if from your initial point of research, some of these events were what you were intrigued in, then some resources here might be extra addition for your research. I've provided an article that focuses on how the world has changed since the global pandemic. But this article doesn't just look at the health implications, it looks at all of the different ways in which change is relevant. Perhaps in your research you were intrigued by the Australian forest fires and what they've done to the world. Again, this article starts to review how this has impacted people in so many ways and the environment. Maybe you've been intrigued in the event of George Floyd's death and the change that people are striving for. In this video, it outlines why people are protesting and what changes they do want to happen. This could be a project idea where you review if those changes have been undertaken. And finally, I've picked something really relevant in the world at the moment. In Hong Kong, there are protests being taken in the last few days, in the last few weeks, all around people there and what they are unhappy with. I've provided a video here that reveals the nature of why these people want change. All of these are big events that I believe have demonstrated a huge change, a seismic change in 2020. Do you agree with any of these? Perhaps you do, or perhaps you've got your own ideas. If you're still unsure of your project direction, I have provided a list of images here. All of these link to the year 2020. It might be that you use one of these images as your inspiration, or these images might spark your imagination to think and consider something different. Either way, they might be of use to you in getting started. From my point of view, 2020 has been a time for change. Your goal in this project is to review whether that seismic change has been significant and what impact you think it's had on the world. Good luck presenting your project. We are so excited to see how it unfolds, and I can't wait to see what ideas you come up with. Goodbye.